We've all been sold this idea that making it means hitting $1 million. But let's be real, for most of us, that number is so huge, it's not even motivating. So in this explainer, we're going to flip that script. What if the most important number in your financial life wasn't 7 figures, but just 5?
And here's the crazy disconnect, right? The experts are on TV telling you to save like $1.2 million for some far-off retirement. Meanwhile, your actual daily reality is that a single transmission failure could blow up your entire financial life. You're trying to chase this massive dream, but really, you're just trying to survive the week.
And we've got to be honest here. When you're looking at your bank account and it just feels like it's constantly draining, hearing some guru talk about $1 million goal, it doesn't just feel out of reach, it kind of feels like an insult, doesn't it?
So, you know what? We're going to forget the $1 million mirage for a minute. Let's focus on this number instead. $20,000. Now, this isn't just some random number I pulled out of a hat. It's a strategic target. Think of it as the tipping point, the exact moment you stop being a victim of your finances and you finally start taking control.
Okay, so to really get why this 20 grand is so powerful, we need to do a quick reality check on the financial world we're all actually living in. Because trust me, the headlines are not telling you the whole story.
So you hear these stats about average household savings and you think, hey, that sounds pretty decent. But here's the catch. That average number is getting totally skewed by the super rich. The real number to look at is the median. That's the person smack dab in the middle, and that's just $8,000. That means half of all households in the country have less than that in cash.
So just for a second, I want you to ask yourself, and be honest, looking at that $8,000 line, which side are you on right now? Look, this isn't about shame or judgment, not at all. It's just about knowing your starting line so we can figure out how to move forward.
And if you feel like you're constantly treading water, just trying to stay afloat, it's not just you. It's because we're living in what some call a split-screen economy. It's pretty simple, really. If you make money by owning things like stocks or real estate, you're probably getting ahead. But if your only income is from a paycheck, you're probably falling behind.
And here's the brutal math that proves it. Over the last 4 years or so, the cost of everything, gas, groceries, rent, it's gone up by about 25%. But your paycheck? For most people, it's only gone up by maybe 10%. That gap is the pressure you feel every single day. It's not in your head, it's real.
Okay, so this is where our $20,000 comes back into play. I like to call it the safety valve. Why? Because it's the one thing that lets you release all that constant financial pressure. It's what lets you shift from just surviving to actually growing.
See, before you have that cash buffer, every little problem, a water heater busts, you get a surprise medical bill, it forces you onto high-interest credit cards. And that debt, it's not just a loan. It's basically a tax you're forced to pay for not having cash. It's a penalty for being in survival mode.
But the second you have that safety valve in place, the entire psychology changes. That same car repair that used to be a life-altering disaster, now it's not a panic attack. It's just an annoying Tuesday. The goal here isn't just about money. It's about buying yourself a life with a whole lot less drama.
So let's define it. The safety valve is that threshold. It's the point where financial drama ends and your personal leverage begins. It's the foundation that lets you stop playing defense with your money and finally start playing offense with your life.
And here's the real kicker. With the $20,000 buffer, you get the one thing your employer does not want you to have: leverage. Think about it. Most people can't quit a toxic job or negotiate for a real raise or take a risk on a better opportunity because they are literally weeks away from financial ruin. With that buffer, you have runway, you have options, you have the power to just say no.
All right, so that's the why. Now let's get into the how. Because this isn't just some nice theory. There's a practical, step-by-step blueprint to build your own safety valve, and it all starts with some really simple math.
This right here is the 60% rule, and it's an absolutely critical diagnostic tool. Just take your monthly take-home pay. Now look at your big 3 expenses. That's your housing, your transportation, and your food. If those 3 things are eating up more than 60% of your income, you don't have a spending problem. You have what's called a structural problem. And no amount of budgeting is going to fix that on its own.
So ask yourself that question right now. Are you over that 60% line? Because if you are, it means your core life setup is mathematically designed to keep you broke. Seriously, cutting back on lattes isn't going to fix a structural issue. It might mean you need to make a bigger change, like getting a roommate or driving a cheaper car, just to free up that cash flow.
Okay, now for the most effective trick in the book. Automate everything. The best way to save is to take willpower completely out of the equation. See, our brains are hardwired with something called loss aversion. It literally hurts more to lose a dollar than it feels good to gain one. So when you manually move money to savings, it can feel like a loss. But automation? It bypasses that. You set up an automatic transfer to a totally separate bank the day you get paid. If you never see the money in your main account, you'll never miss it. It's that simple.
So here it is, your 5-step roadmap to get there. Step 1, just get $1,000 saved up. That's your starter emergency fund to stop the little fires. Step 2, attack any high-interest debt like your hair's on fire. Get rid of it. Step 3, do that 60% audit we talked about and fix any big structural problems. Step 4, set up the automation split. Pay yourself first. And finally, step 5, you just keep going until you hit that $20,000 finish line. That's where you switch from playing defense to playing offense.
Look, building this isn't just about math. It's about a fundamental shift in your mindset. This whole journey is about making a choice. Are you going to chase the appearance of wealth, or are you going to build the foundation of true freedom?
And these are really the two paths you can take. You've got the quietly broke over here. They have the new truck, the latest phone, the expensive apartment, but they have zero agency. They're trapped by their payments. Then you have the person building their quiet empire. They might look totally average on the outside, but with every single deposit into their savings, they are buying another piece of their own freedom.
You have to be willing to reject what's normal, because normal in today's economy is being stressed out and broke. So choose to drive the beater car. Choose to live in the modest apartment for a little longer. Build your empire in silence while everyone else is busy showing off.
At the end of the day, every dollar you save isn't a dollar you're giving up. It's a piece of your future that you're buying back. It's freedom from a boss you hate, freedom to take a risk, freedom from that constant nagging anxiety about money. Your future self is waiting for you. So the only question left is, what freedom are you going to buy them?